Blissful Rising, mamas, mothers to be, women and lovers, all you lovers of women everywhere. That means everybody. Janelle here with you this rising. The sun is not quite up yet, so it's a little gray, or a lot gray. Just here to share the vibes for the day, for the week. Today I want to talk about collective healing. Right now, globally, there's a lot of catastrophe, natural and lots of not so natural disasters happening. There's the earthquake that just happened in Haiti, and it affected the surrounding islands as well. There's, of course, the pandemic. There's been a lot of postings, not in the news so much, but across social media about women having their babies basically kidnapped from them. And it's not just one story, it's multiple stories, and a lot more coming forward. And for the past week, for me personally, it feels like every time I tap on social media, there's something else that's just bombarding me. And I know the rest of us, because I'm seeing it on multiple people's postings, pages. We're just being bombarded with so much negativity that's happening right now. So we are in a collective state of fear. We're battling a collective illness. And the only way for us to combat that and overcome that is through collective healing. There's a lot of division that's happening among us, especially with, as I stated before, the pandemic. And that division is amplified. It's being fed by fear. And so if we, even if it's in little groups, come together and focus on, collectively, intentionally focus on something that is of use to us. Focus on healing someone. If you know somebody that is not doing so well, whether it be physically, emotionally, spiritually, whatever it is, get the community together. That community could be 3 of you, 5 of you, 10 of you. Get that person, get a group of you together, sit that person in the group with you, create a circle, or you can have that person right in the center, and all of you can focus on the healing of that individual. You can speak to that person verbally, or you guys can just sit and meditate silently together, but make sure that you're all focused on the same healing for that individual. Individually, we are still powerful, but collectively, there's so much more power. All of it that we have individually becomes amplified. In the Bible, it says, where 2 or more are gathered, hello. And you've heard that reiterated in so many other ways. There's power in numbers. You don't have to be religiously affiliated to believe that, or to know that is true. Think about concerts that you go to. When you're in the car singing a song to yourself, yeah, you're vibing and it feels good. But when you're in an arena and there's thousands of people singing the same song as you, vibing out, like yelling to the top of their lungs, it hits different. It feels very different. That's a vibration and a frequency that you literally feel it. You can't deny it. And sometimes it can bring you to tears. Sometimes it amplifies your joy. It's that much more enjoyable. It's like when you go to sports events and the crowd, everybody's cheering the same cheer. The team or the individual that is competing feels that energy, and that drives them to do that much better, to go that much harder. So you cannot deny the fact that collectively there is power with all of us. And so if we come together, like I said, in small groups, or individually, just continue to flood your timelines with positive energy so that we can counteract some of this negative energy that we're seeing. There's a lot of, there are many of us that feel like, oh, we want to do something. Like with, her name is slipping my mind, the main story that we've been seeing with the young lady, the family that had both of their children taken from them. A lot of us feel like, I want to do something, and there are ways that you can help, but with the compiled negative postings and all the catastrophes that happen, sometimes you just end up feeling stuck and overwhelmed to the point where you end up doing nothing at all. So if we collectively, for every negative post you see, post something positive, that way we can balance out the effects, the weight of all that stress and pain, so that we can move into being mobile, to making change, to uplifting each other, so that we can, be the fist, be that mighty fist that can punch through, break down all of this stress and sadness and just disarray, and these walls that have been created by others, external forces, to keep us separated. We didn't put those up. Like, we didn't choose for it to be us versus them, me versus you. That's not how living is supposed to be. We're here to be of service to each other. And so we have to get creative about how we interact with each other, how we uplift each other, how we are of service to each other, because there are very creative tactics put in place for us to continue living in this state of fear and stress and anger and disarray and all of that stuff. There are very creative tactics put in place, to the point where when it's put in your face and you're told this is what's happening, you're like, no, that's not true. You'd be surprised at how many things there are, just feeding stress into your subconscious without you knowing it. So we have to get creative about doing the opposite, finding ways to feed positive energy into each other. So if you want to wake up in the rising and do a meditation for yourself, find somebody that is willing to meditate with you, and both of you, all of you, whatever the number of you are, focus on something, someplace, someone that you want to send healing to or positive energy to, and do that. You can do that every day. You can do it weekly, whatever works for you. But we have got to be proactive. We have got to do together, collectively, so that we can get out of this state of fear and stuckness. And I know, right? Okay. But yeah, that's basically what I wanted to share, is for us to step into our collective healing powers, because we are individually, as I said before, we are individually powerful. Your belief in whatever you want to believe in is powerful. There are a lot of things that have you believing that you are not powerful. But the more you tell yourself how powerful you are, and the more you practice your power, the more amplified it is. And again, I'm going to say it, when you put that with someone else who's practicing their power, and then someone else who's practicing their power, it becomes that much more powerful. So I encourage you to practice your power, and collectively practice your power, so that we can step into collective healing. All right. With that being said, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Until next time, peace.